Hello everyone, it's Wes Cole. I just finished watching night 2 of the Republican National Convention, and I just want to talk about a few things. I'm going to try to make it a little bit briefer, although my list for Ryan is kind of long, so I'm going to hopefully I can just touch on the most important points. But it's just after 11, it's Wednesday, it's August 29th, of course it's 2012, and again I'm with the group Occupiers for Obama 2012. And I didn't get to watch most of the convention tonight. I was busy with family, most of them Republican actually. And before I get into my analysis, a lot of these people that spoke tonight remind me of my own family. And what I'm starting to see, or the similarities, are the fact that most of the people that you see that have spoken tonight really kind of live in a bubble and don't really have experience with how the rest of the world actually lives, as far as like poverty, homelessness, struggling to make a living, losing your home, and things like that. I really feel like I'm seeing the city I grew up in and lived in. When I was, a young teenager up till about, my low 20s. But it just reminds me of people who just don't know how the real world is for most people. You know what I'm saying? The 1% basically, or the 10% we'll say. But just a couple things I want to point on, and I'll make this brief if I can. As far as Condoleezza Rice goes, I know that she desires to see civil rights for, people that are minorities, obviously, but the fact remains that her party has done little to support that, okay? The Occupy movement has done more than anybody to support, minorities and those who are struggling. So I just want to, for the record, I just want to put that down. Condoleezza, you're, pardon me, you're an intelligent woman, and I think you mean well, but you're talking to a party that does not put minorities at all, or people that are, in poverty, are of little importance to them, okay? So that's really about all I have to say to you. And as far as Governor Martinez, I just want to touch up on one point you made about we built this. Well, actually, Governor Martinez, a lot of your undocumented family, brothers and sisters actually have done a lot of building in this country and have gotten no credit for it, okay? The only thing that they've gotten from your party is get the hell out of here, you know what I'm saying? At least under Obama, he's created the DREAM Act, trying to give people who have come over here who could make a strong contribution to our country a chance at citizenship here. So, that's who built a lot here. While we're talking about who built this, actually black people and Mexicans have done a lot of building in this country and have gotten little to no credit for it. So let's just talk about who built what, okay? That's who really built America, and that's starting from the mid-1800s or early 1800s up till now, okay? So, but I'm going to move on to Ryan now because that's what matters the most. A couple things that, he had mentioned, and I want to have to just read my notes here. I've got my reading glasses here. I'm going to see if I can read this without trying to put them on. But, he's talking about, poverty, and he's talking about Obamacare, and he's talking about entitlements and things like that, and it's just so ironic, Mr. Ryan, that, basically your whole life you've been entitled, you know what I'm saying? You've been on government entitlements for your education. Your insurance is completely paid for as an entitlement as a government worker. You are a perfect example of nothing but entitlements, yet you don't want that for Americans, okay? So I just find that very hypocritical. I just want to tell you that, sir. You're preaching to people who may not need entitlements, who may, your crowd are the wealthy folks. I know it. I come from that a little bit myself. You're not talking to the real average American who struggles to make a living. You don't have a clue, sir, so I just want you to know that, okay? But you've been on entitlements most of your life, so let's just get that straight for the record, okay? A couple things you mentioned, too, about, we went through a AAA rating downgrade. Well, I do believe it was your party, Mr. Ryan, that held up the whole debacle and basically caused that credit downgrade. There are a lot of flaws in your speech tonight, sir. You may have done a good job of motivating the wealthy crowd of yours out there, but the fact remains is that you want to basically go back to Bush policies, whether you want to admit it or not. You want to basically give the wealthy more tax breaks, and you want to basically, tax the working class, the middle class, and that does not work, sir. We've tried that for 8 years under Bush. We're not dumb, But let me see if I can read some of this real quick. I do want to try to wrap this. I do want to try to wrap this up here. Hang on one second here. You're talking about stopping spending and borrowing money we don't have. Well, you know, that's all we did with these wars. We borrowed money on wars that were illegal. That's your party again, Paul Ryan. I mean, it's not, you know, false information led even the Democratic Party to make decisions they never would have made if the intelligence had been correct on that. That was your party that did that under the previous administration. And it's not about, I mean, I'm not here to, Bush is, you know, that's done and over with. But the fact remains is that some of the worst errors in modern history next to Hiroshima were under the Bush administration. And that's the Republican Party. So like it or not, sir, that's just the way it is, you know. And let me just, I'm going to put my glasses on for a minute here and try to wrap this up. So give me a minute here, because there's just a couple more points I did want to make, you know. Let's see here. You know, towards the end, you know, you talk about peace and liberty, you know, and protecting the weak. And, you know, and to me, that's just code for saying, you know, we're the party that's going to take us to war with Iran. And I know you are. You know, there's no doubt in my mind, if we choose Mitt Romney and Paul Ryan to run this country, we will be at war, a full-out war with Iran. I guarantee you that. So I'm going to try to wrap this up now, but I just hope that you people can see, I mean, unless you're a wealthy person or a person of privilege, you have no business voting for this party. This Republican Party is not looking out for you. They are going to make your life worse than it was under Bush, I'm telling you. It will be the biggest disaster, it'll be the biggest, you know, separation of just bringing people together that I've ever seen. I mean, this party is simply talking to the wealthy folks. They're talking to, you know, white middle-aged guys that are wealthy that have always been running this country, and they're talking to elderly. If you vote for Obama, you're going to have better health care. You're going to have a world that's much more generous, to, you know, that is thoughtful of other people, thoughtful of other countries, is not in such a hurry to go to war. So just, you know, really start looking and reading into what they're saying, because if you really want a country that's going to move forward and that's really going to help minorities and that's really going to help, you know, poor people, going to help elderly people, is going to strengthen Medicare and Social Security, keep them as they are, in other words, not put them into voucher for-profit, you know, situations, which is what the Republicans want to do. The Republicans want to turn the whole country into a for-profit business, okay? So they can put more money in their pockets. Don't fall for it. The government is here to protect us, but the government is also here to protect the people. And Social Security and Medicare are two perfect examples. So I just want you to remember, come 2012, I want you to vote for Obama and not fall for the lies these guys are giving you. They are not looking out for you. They are only looking out for themselves and the privileged. And if you can't see that, well, don't say you haven't been warned. But anyway, I want to say peace to all. I love you. Have a wonderful night. And I really look forward to the Democratic National Convention, because you're going to hear actually honesty and the truth. And I think that this second term of Obama, a lot's going to get done, because he'll have nothing to lose at this point, and the Republicans will have no choice but to compromise, something they know nothing about. So, but they're going to learn about compromise in the second term. But anyway, that's enough. It's Wes Cole. I love everybody, whether you're a Democrat or Republican, but I'm going to say what I feel, and I have said it. So love you. Talk to you later. Wes Cole signing out.